Skip it up and that up. So a couple days ago, I posted a video about Battlefield 5 titled "Let's Cry Uncontrollably About Battlefield 5," and I was criticizing people, saying that they were losing their minds over basically nothing. A lot of people have been complaining about how Battlefield 5 is not authentic to World War II, and they were just trying to appease SJWs. And my opinion on all that is, who cares? It's a video game.
Whoa, that's a genuinely shocking fact.
No matter what the developers did, whether they made the game truly authentic to World War II, or they tried to include every gender in the game to make everyone happy, people are going to be pissed off either way. So my take on it is so long as Battlefield 5 has great gameplay, beyond that, I really don't care unless they try really hard to force some kind of super feminist propaganda down my throat. Which, if we find out that's the case with Battlefield 5 when they release the game later this year, then you will see me get pissed off. But if that's not the case and the female character is just part of the story or part of a side story, I really can't relate to everyone losing their minds, and I think people are overreacting. I'm sorry, I don't care how many dislikes my previous video got, I'm not going to change my opinion on that. Well, Alan Kurtz, who is the design director at DICE, has seen all of the criticism. He has worked on every main Battlefield game since Battlefield 2142, and this is what he said on Reddit regarding the negativity around Battlefield 5. "I knew this is going to be a fight when I push for female soldiers in Battlefield. I have a daughter, and I don't ever want to have to answer her question of why can't I make a character that looks like me with "because you're a girl." I fundamentally feel to my core this is the right way, and I will find myself on the right side of history. And I think many people will play the game despite their reservations, and maybe learn something about either history or themselves. This is part of the making games art. I can't speak for timing. I know personally that I wasn't in a position of enough influence to make it happen. I also know a lot in society has changed, and for me personally, I grew up a bit and looked at the world with new eyes. From within the industry, we've seen so much male domination for whatever reasons, and I work for a studio and company that recognizes the value of diversity in what we do as game makers. That's been a big deal for me also. Sometimes just enough things come together to make it happen. It felt like an inevitability. The excuses were running out and the support was there, so it happens now. Now Kurtz goes on to talk about other World War II games that are out there, saying, hey, if you really want World War II authenticity, there's other games that you could play. I think there are some great World War II experiences out there. From Day of Defeat to Postscriptum, each offers its own flavor. Let's not forget the first Battlefield World War II game had a jetpack DLC, and the Russians use an MP-18 Japanese SMG. We want to create the most immersive experience we can create, and that pushes us towards physical and some authentic elements. We also want to be engaging in the long term and in person. That's always a balancing act. I'm sure we hit that mark. Not for everyone, but we will hit that mark. Now, does some of the stuff from Alan Kurtz sound very corporate and like someone at EA told him to say some of it? Of course. Look, man, he's just trying to keep his job and he's trying to appease as many people as possible. But like I said early on in this video and in my previous video regarding Battlefield 5, these developers can't win either way. If EA and DICE decided to go 110% authentic and only have men in certain factions, or men were only in World War II and they only had male lead characters in the game, you know that every single diehard feminist and SJW news website out there would have been ripping them new ones, and they would have had to succumb to their pressure and put a patch in to add in a female character, and every social justice warrior out there would have been losing their minds and writing petitions for people to boycott Battlefield 5. You guys have seen it before. You could press dislike on this video, and I know many people press dislike on my previous Battlefield 5 video, but you know damn well what I'm saying is true, okay? If they were 100% authentic, you would have had every politically correct and social justice warrior and uber feminist out there losing their minds. They would have made EA and DICE buckle to pressure, and they would have been relentless on them. Am I wrong? Have we not seen it 1,000 times before? But now, because they're trying to be inclusive to keep all those groups at bay, you have everyone out there, look at them succumbing to feminism, look at them, not being authentic to World War II and being pro-SJW and being a bunch of soy boys. Not my Battlefield. The developers, they can't win either way. They're screwed either way now. This is why, with Anita Sarkeesian and her feminist frequency bullshit years ago and her tropes versus women in video games. This is why I was like, this is horrible. This is going to make the games community and the industry so divisive. And here we are years later, mostly due to her bullshit, that we are in the situation that we are. That we have everyone in the community divided. You have people that are all pro-feminism and diehard feminism, and they're looking to be offended by everything. And then you have everyone in the other group that's like, oh, look at everyone being a bunch of soy boys and being pro-feminism and being politically correct. Either way, you can't win. No one can win. And every time something like this is done, there you just see everyone clawing each other's faces off. And that's what I'm sick of, man. I'm so tired of it. Look, you don't want to be a woman in the video game, don't play as a woman. And like I said, so long as they don't have some kind of diehard feminism storyline, I don't really care. I really don't. Even if she's a main part of the story, as long as her story is just about something interesting in the game and there is no kind of propaganda surrounding it, let her be there, man. And when you play multiplayer, just be a male if it bothers you that much. I really, really wish we could get past this crap and move on to more important problems in the gaming industry. Hopefully a few years from now, when things like this happen, they will be a non-issue and they don't need to be discussed. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.